Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy X-2 100% guide on our quest for sweet perfection. 100% in one playthrough. So, again, we are diving into the Via Infinito. We're after getting to like floor 60, and now it's time to get to floor 80 and beyond. And essentially, our higher power is going to need a new dress in it, and we are going to be doing a little bit of cheese strats. So we're going to be throwing Lady Luck in there. Again, we've used her for, you know, getting to level 97, but even at level 97, 98, 99... this is still going to be tricky and difficult. So we pick up after floor 60 at 480. Once again, just running along with no encounters just to get as far as we can. And we come into the realm of Unalaska and Lord Zaon, the very perpetrators of sin in the first place. So fittingly, like Medusa before her in her character design, we have her being an absolute snake. But here's what's really interesting. We had Chac Oversoul, and the way we did that was making sure we fought loads of other basilisk enemies earlier on in the Infinito. So once you get a basilisk enemy oversouling, do not kill it so that Chac will oversoul as well. Now, what we're doing is we're doing random reels, and we are aiming for the triple red 7. And unfortunately, what we're able to cheese a little bit is with pausing. If you pause, you're able to then learn the, layout of each of the different reels, and typically, once you see 7 on the top, if you press X, 7 will be landing at the bottom to kind of help with your timing. Now, unfortunately, both times I end up messing up. I kind of think, oh, if I just get it a little bit higher up in the slot, I can get the 7 down. And unfortunately, I got the second 7 down, but I ended up pressing the next X input too quickly, and we get taken out anyway. So even if we had gotten the triple 7, it wouldn't have been a goer, because would have been knocked out anyway. But look, what happens, which is quite useful, is if you're able to get your cactar, Catling gun going, it has a big animation and a big wind-up that the random reels can play through. And then what happened was I ended up going, oh my god, I'm after getting the 7 and the 7 in the middle, which means I need to get the third 7 to be up the very tip top. And basically, I learned off that it's after the one with 2 cherries, one after the other in this third reel, is when the 7's going to appear. So I'm there just looking out for the 2 cherries in a row. It's typically bar, cherry, cherry. So here we are. Done. And thankfully, the Stony Glare wasn't on Yuna again, because then she would have been paused in her loading of congrats. Now, the 1 cherry on its own leads to a potion command, and now the 777 is loading in with congrats. Congrats acts as a reverse bribe. So we get the benefits of a bribe, we get the 9 supreme gems, and we get paid the money we would have had to have paid Chac to flee in a bribe. So that's quite awesome. And I know it's a bit cheesy. I know I didn't, strictly speaking, fight Chac fairly. But again, I'm wanting to 100% this game, and it is a feature that the game gives me. It was not, lacking skill to try and get the 777s. So, we're gonna just leave it at that. But now we have to pursue Lord Zaon deeper into the Via Infinito, to confront him at floor 100, the end of the dungeon. But before we go through any of that, we're going to save. And before we do the floor 100 boss fight, I'm actually going to be showing some collecting of blue bullets and collecting of another trophy that we can do regarding Blitzball. But as I say, we can put on 4 times speed, and then we're able to turn off encounters. Don't forget to leave the floor and turning off encounters, because by the time we get to floor 80, it is going to be some very, very difficult enemies. They can inflict stop, they can cast ultima. It is quite damaging and scary. So put back on that console command and have it be 0 encounters, and make sure you can res Yuna and put her back in her mascot dress. But other than that, guys, the Via Infinito is really finished. We just have a big fight at floor 100. It's a back-to-back boss fight. But we will talk through that once we get there. But as I say, once you can console command turn off the encounters, the Infinito becomes a breeze. And I'm just going to be showing you certain floor layouts that you might be thinking, oh god, I can't get any deeper, there's a Mega Tombury here. This floor, you can just run to the left of him. He will not trigger an attack with you, or like have a fight with you. So do not worry. Just on this particular floor, all you have to do is just run until you find that horizontal bar that you're able to like jump off to go deeper down. And yeah, 93. This one's really kind of just a long winding one. So whenever you see a left turn, just take it and up. So you're constantly going up and left if ever it asks you to go left. Up and left, until eventually you see that little thing, you jump off and jump down, and that's that floor finished. And now this one was the most scary. I thought, oh god, there's no way you're not able to fight this Mega Tombury. I don't know what you're meant to do, but there's literally no escape from this floor layout. And there is. So you run up, you fight this Tombury, you get through the fight lickety-split, and then once it's all over, you get teleported up on the lift, and then you're typically, it looks like you're meant to climb over the wall and fight the Mega Tombury. But just be careful, land on that smaller platform, and then just jump across to the left. You'll land on that platform, which will disappear the wall, and then just jump back to the left, hugging the wall, and then you can get through there easily enough. And as I say, once you're happy with how you're going, you can just save at regular intervals and continue the journey down. But here we are, all the way at 98, only 2 more floors to go. And this one was scary because, again, I thought, oh, do I have to just beat the Mega Tombury and then jump down? No. You have to run to the left, and there's a hidden secret back path along this way. And there are actually 2 normal Tomburys and then a Mega Tombury. And so in this one, you can fight a Tombury. In the middle section, there's a Mega Tombury, and in the far right section, there's another normal Tombury. But if you defeat the 2 normal Tomburys, the Mega Tombury is despawned, and you're able to jump deeper into the Via Infinito then. But there's a third and final, scary room layout, and it's known as like the Tombury room. So you might have noticed that because I had it on 2 times speed, but once you fight the 2 Tomburys, there's a little white flash to say, oh, you've unlocked the way down. But fittingly, floor 99 is a Tombury room, and you're able to click the shoulder buttons in order to move the camera's perspective. But essentially, it is one of these 4 areas that you have to stand on the little platform to basically activate your way out. So it's not that one. So we're going to jump down, and then we're going to go to the right. And even though it's kind of off camera, you don't really need to change the perspective. There's generally a little platform at the end of each of those 4 areas. And now that you are free to drop down, we've now reached floor 100. And we're going to come back to that next episode for that final fight. But before that, we're going to go to Luca. Once we load down to Luca, we are able to take part in Blitzball. And Blitzball is totally different to what we recognized in 10. It's basically a football manager simulator. And essentially, I'm just going to try and train the team. So if you imagine it from Shinra being goalie, that makes Yuna and Buddy our two defenders. And then I think it's Riku and someone else as like the wider side defenders. Yeah, Riku and Wedge are the kind of midfielders, side defenders. You have Brothers and Biggs as the attackers and Pain as the shooter as well. Sorry, the goal scorer. But basically, if you go up to each of the characters in that grid, you're able to give them different exercises to either raise a stat or lower a stat. And so, since Brother is in the more offensive role, we are going to give him 3 points. As you can see, the blue number is 3, and his overall score is 2. So again, just hop along, and what I ended up doing was really trying to boost Shinra and making sure he was getting loads of goalkeeper skill to be able to catch and save as much as possible. And then I put the attacking on Biggs and Pain. So I was there like, okay, we can give her a good attack as well. But really, Pain should have also been shoot. Just looking back at this with the benefit of hindsight. But again, Shinra is our goalie and he has 3 catch. So again, we're just putting these points down, and then once you practice, it applies those boosts or those negatives to all the different characters that trained and changes their stats slightly. And so then I went up again and I made sure then to always try and remove their fatigue. You'll see fatigue at 0. But basically we want it at 0 because they play better the less fatigue that they have. But I just wasn't sure if it was like, oh, they just gain fatigue whenever they train. So then I just did a whole practice where I was putting everybody on downtime. Maybe that wasn't necessary. But yeah, it's basically like a football manager, and it basically plays itself. So there's not a lot of input that you can have, but I was very lucky insofar as I ended up getting my first win the first go round. So I'm not sure how orangey heavy that was. I'm not sure how lucky I was in that scenario. But again, I just was putting the different characters into things that I thought would benefit them. So our attackers getting better shoot, Pain getting better shoot would have also been good. And again, just making sure we're able to just give them 100 skill points so that we're not starting off at 0, you know? But as I say, once I ended up spending all of the points there, we end up just going into an exhibition match. We can select our opponents, and from my little bit of research, it seemed like, okay, the Kilika Beasts are the weakest team. So I went with those. So play Blitzball, exhibition match. There is no need to go looking into the Spira League. And we're not going against the Luca Goers, we're going to go for the Kilika Beasts. And then it's all played automatically, like I don't have any real input at all. And as you can see, it's all just instant karma. But that's without even giving Pain more shoot. And she's automatically scoring, so I'm not sure if it's just the Kilika Beasts are that bad. But as you can see, Buddy, with his shirt off, can I say? Not that like it really matters, but like, oh my. But anyway, we're getting our passes, and the other big difference is we don't have a half time. It is just 5 minutes that's it. So really all we need to do now is not let them score. But Payne, being the absolute baller that she is, she attacked, stole the ball, and now scored. So we're nearly halfway through the game. We're 2-0. So things are looking really great. And as you say, the more you can get the animation to like be shooting or passing, the time then passes without them getting a goal, you know? And Yuna intercepting, like, you go, girl. And Payne claiming the ball. I don't know what makes them shoot or not shoot. Because, like, if Payne had just swam forward like a little bit, would have been pretty good. But Buddy fumbles, Yuna claims, Yuna passes back. So it's really, really fast-paced, guys. Like, it's non-stop. And we're just really lucky that we just started the game. Within 1.5 minutes, we had 2 goals up on the other team. And as I say, we're getting to like have the time pass by with all the challenging and stuff. And Shinra not being a slouch at all. You know, being able to catch a Roo almost anything, which is great. But again, I'm not sure how bad are these guys' skills, you know? Once again, we're now coming up to the 4th minute. If we now only have 50 seconds left on the clock. But if we could get another goal, that would have just been a, you know, trick shot. Unfortunately, not for us. But as you can see, like, this character only has a shoot of 2. And, like, Shinra has a catch of 3 still, so... You know, we're not doing too bad. This guy's a shoot of 1, so he's definitely not going to be shooting. And this guy is a shoot of 3, so... It's probably 50-50 as to whether Shinra can catch or not. But with only 15 seconds left, I was like, oh, please don't tie at all the end of this. But no. We end up winning. We end up getting a trophy. So we get our achievement for winning at Blitzball. And then you hear the little jingle. We're not going to be playing anymore. No, thank you. It was literally just for an achievement. But not so much for an achievement, but for our own personal pride. We're going to return to the Chocobo Cave. Because there is a blue bullet we can get by fighting Ultima Weapon. Now, I had turned off encounters in there. So we probably could have fought him earlier and gotten it again. But we basically have Ultima Weapon that we can find here. We're going to basically change over everybody to a gun mage, obviously. And then we can do a little bit of damage because sometimes he doesn't do the attacks until he's like in danger. So do a bit of damage, use scan to like track his HP. And then once he's low, he should be supernova. So it's just a case of waiting him out until he eventually decides, okay, I'm gonna attack you now with this. So once again, just using scans to like track that HP and being like, oh, okay, he has like 23,000, we can do a couple more hits to him anyway. And yeah, whenever he's putting that little eject sign, and so long as we all survive this, we should be fine. So definitely set up your protecting shell, you know? But then, leaving the cave, we can find these guys that will give us seed cannon. And that's 2 more blue bullets down. 1 more being the oversold Mega Tombury that, you know, we're going to start to fight Tomburys to oversoul him. But that's been our episode, guys. Check us out next time for Floor 100. of the Via Infinito, where we fight and defeat Trema and Paragon. Talk to you next time. Have a good one.